Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk. Your home for all your betting tips and expert analysis, not only for boxing but for a multitude of events like football, basketball, horse racing, and many other events. So, yeah, if you're a sports fan who likes a dabble, be sure to check out the lads at sharpbetting.co.uk in the description below. To me, Niall, delighted as always to be joined by Paul, and we're here reacting to what we've just seen from Birmingham as Sam Eggington has won a domestic clash against Lee Cutler after the fight was stopped in 9 rounds due to a cut deemed to be from an accidental head clash. So we went to the cards and Cutler came out on top. Paul, I hope you're well as always. Let's jump straight into it. I was going to make a joke about, the egg winning on Easter Sunday, but I just couldn't really think of one. So, the jokes write themselves, I suppose. But yeah, I hope you're well, first of all. Yeah, let's jump in. What did you make of that fight? And most importantly, kind of who did you have ahead at the time of the stoppage?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, mate. I think pre-fight, when you were looking at this event, you were like, "This is the fight. Any fight Sam Eggington's in delivers." Like, name me a bad Sam Eggington fight in the last, I don't know, what, 5 years. You can maybe name one at a push, but the rest have been unbelievable. He's always brings the action. You don't need to go looking for him. And we knew that was going to be the case. I think Lee Cutler put on an amazing performance last time as the underdog against Stevie McKenna. I think we're maybe a few people maybe a little high on that win, going into this, which made him the slight favorite, I think. But I think, yeah, go to answer your questions now. I think this it's always disappointing when a fight ends like that, isn't it? In saying that, I do believe Sam Eggington was ahead. I did have him, well, not handily ahead, but there was no doubt in my mind that he was ahead. But I will caveat that with saying that yes, there was only a round or two left, but I think Cutler was coming on strong. Um, which I actually thought it would be the other way around. How Cutler maybe would have started better, and Eggington would have come on strong with the experience and the know-how that he's had at that level and in those fights. And it was actually the other way around. But we're not going to sit here and say, oh, if it had gone another 2 rounds, Cutler would have won it on the point or got to him and stopped him. I don't think that was the case. I think the right man won, but it is always disappointing. And yeah, it was interesting as well because obviously it gets stopped. The referee gets the doctor in. The doctor says no, it's no longer continuing, and it was, as he said, it was a accidental clash of heads. But if you actually like in the replay, you can't tell what actually did cut make the cut. Like it might well have been an accidental clash of heads, but just before that, I think Cutler landed a peach of a right hand, just kind of on the same area. So you're sitting thinking, was that the cause of the cut? And if it was, then that's a stoppage victory for Lee Cutler. All if buts and maybes, but I think you know if it was a true accidental clash of heads, yeah, going through the protocol of going to the scorecards after 5 completed rounds, blah blah blah. For me, the right man won. I had Sam Eggington ahead, so yeah, I'm not too disappointed in that at all, mate.
Yeah, I agree totally, and that's an interesting point you make there. We did see on the replay a bit of right hand land from Cutler on the right on the spot, so that's a very interesting one. That was deemed to be accidental head clash, but who knows? It's the fine margins in boxing. Yeah, in terms of the fight itself, I agree with you. Um, you know, it didn't catch fire maybe as much as I was expecting it to. Um, not saying it was a bad fight at all, but as you said, maybe we're expecting just so much more out of Sam Eggington. Like every time he's not in a bad fight. But yeah, I thought the right man won. I thought one of the scorecards was quite wide. If I remember correctly, I think it was Eggington by about 7 rounds or something. If I remember rightly, I think that was very wide. But yeah, I think the right man won. I thought the kind of inside work from Eggington was kind of the key. Cutler did push him back physically, but the more eye-catching shots and the experience on the inside from Eggington kind of won the day. And then he did establish a strong jab kind of at range. But yeah, you mentioned the McKenna win. I maybe looked a bit too much into that. I thought Cutler was gonna, Cutler's kind of edge and hand speed and better footwork would have the kind of deciding effect on Eggington. But no, credit the Eggington deserved the win, but very close. Yeah, very close. It was a good fight. But yeah, we're both in agreement. The right man won. So yeah, just on in terms of now, I suppose what's next for Eggington. You know, he's already overachieved so much. He'll tell you that himself in his career. And he's always great to watch. Such a fan favorite. And there's a few interesting options for him now at 154. Isn't there really? There's a British title fight. Louis Green and Sam Gilly, I believe, are fighting for that title soon enough. Jarko had a great win last night, good performance. Ishmael Davis, you know, there's plenty of interesting options. Maybe a Burrell rematch for the European title. Who knows? He ran Burrell quite close in that one, but yeah, what do you think is next for Sam Eggington? And I suppose how much further do you think he can go? As I say, he has overachieved, but what is a title that you could see him push for again?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think he's got quite a lot of options. Like, there might be talk of a rematch because of how that finished. They might want to run that back against Lee Calder. So that's your first option. You mentioned there he did run a Barrow quite close as well for the European. Whether or not that fight happens again, I probably can't see that. That one that you mentioned there, obviously, big good friend of mine and someone I've spoken to a lot over the years, Sam Gilly. He's hopefully fighting for, as you said, for that 154 British title against Louis Green. He's already beaten Louis Green before, but that was for the English title. So this, obviously Louis Green went on to win the title even after losing to Gilly. So then could you, if Sam Gilly is to beat Louis Green again, like he has done before, imagine Sam Gilly, Sam Eggington. They both love a scrap. That would be unbelievable. That would be an unbelievable fight. So I hadn't actually thought of that at all, mate. But now that you've mentioned it, I'm gonna get on to Sam Gilly and say, get calling out Sam Eggington there. Come on. But yeah, that's a great fight. Do I see any? The Jarko one had a good win. I don't think that would be a great win for a Jarko if he was to fight someone like Sam Eggington as well. I think that would be another massive learning fight for him. But I don't know, for some reason, I just don't see that fight happening. No reasoning behind it. I just can't really see it. Most likely, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a rematch with Lee Cutler. But now that you've said it, give Sam Eggington against the winner for the British against between Sam Gilly and Louis Green.
Yeah, I agree. Gilly and Higgington, the Battle of the Sams, I think would be an outstanding fight. Both love a scrap, so yeah, Eggington fighting for a British title again. I think it'll be a good show for where he is in his career. The Jarko fight, of course, the Irish bias. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing that fight, but I think Jarko, maybe I'd like to see him with a crack at a Bass Burrell after that. But come here, that's a different video. Yeah, it will be interesting to see Sam Eggington. I was listening to an interview with him the other day, and I think it was actually with Ra on Punch Out Boxing, where he was saying he's gonna give it 2 more years to see how he gets on and evaluate at the end of the 2 years. So yeah, the next couple of years and the next year really going to be very interesting for Sam Eggington. So you know, he's must watch though. Whoever he fights, that's a guarantee. Anyway, I'm a big fan. So yeah, that's all we have time for on this one. Myself and Paul reacting to what we've just seen from Birmingham, England, as Sam Eggington has defeated Lee Cutler. Well, after the fight was stopped in 9 rounds due to accidental head clash cuts, Eggington getting the decision then on the cards in a very close fight. So yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. What did you make of the fight? Most importantly, how did you have it? Very close fight. Do you think the right man won? Yeah, and what's next for Eggington in your opinion? How far can he go again? Yeah, as always, don't forget to like the video. We'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at ESBR Boxing. Follow us on all social media, and of course, check out the lads at sharpbetting.co.uk in the description below. Paul, as always, a pleasure, and take care.
Cheers, mate. All the best.